I'm going to read the Misfits roster.
Okay.
Number 03, Porter. Number 10, Pandemonium. Number 11, Beat Moy. Number 14, Makilia. Number 18, Thompson. Number 23, Afro Jamari. Number 24, Hater. Number 247, Miss Amerikill. Number 309, Raven Fritch. Number 411, Fist Fight. Number 447, Lunatic. Number 50, Showtime. Number 700, Toe Jammer. Number 800, Bruno Scars. And number 816, Mousetrap.
And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Cherry Bomb Brawlers. That is 007 Mad Max. Number 12, Mad Hatter. Number 14, Koma Kazi. Number 15, Freaking Wolf. Number 16, Tycho the Psycho. Number 18, Global Storming. Number 19, 74, Jaws of Death. Number 20, Critical Hit. Number 22, Skatey Katie. Number 244, Tribal Terror. Number 574, Poison Ivy. Number 666, Izzy Dead. Number 717, Eminem. Number 74, Girlzilla. And number 989, Vicious Vanna.
And our officials for this bout are Rex Blocker, Umpire Strikes Back, Benoit, Tipsy Moo, Ringer, Killakey, Stonatsi, Admiral Mayhem, Locutus of Quad, Neutron Scar, Wanjo Fett, Supergirl, Iron Dat, Scotchy Scotch Scott, Gorham Browncoat, and Rickon Blocker.
We do appreciate them coming out here today. I've had a pretty good time at Derby so far.
I have too.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I've been on this track. I just called the game between
right
Emerald
before.
City and Sonoma County.
So you're
Down
getting
here
pretty
for
used
you.
to this track, right?
I am, yes.
Just checking out we can actually see the scoreboard on track 2. When you're announcing stream, you cannot actually see the scoreboard, so it's a little interesting there. But
Yes.
we can see it here, so we'll be able to update you on times, etc.
We're running a little late. It looks like there's a bit of a official captain's meeting going on as we wind down the end of this warm-up period and into the beginning of this game. Both these teams, I believe, played earlier today, and both these teams won earlier today.
Yeah. I had the pleasure of announcing for Cherry Bombs earlier game. Really, really great performance both defensively and offensively.
That was a very exciting game. It
It
was a very
was.
close game.
It was just a really well-matched set of teams against Emerald City.
Mob City had a bit of a blowout in their first game today. So these teams are both 1-0, but they won't leave that way.
No.
One will leave it 2-0, and one will leave it 1-1. Because that's how games work.
It's how games work, and sometimes unfortunate that someone has to lose, but
It's true. It is unfortunate that someone has to lose, but there are no ties in roller derby.
there aren't. I would like to see a good overtime jam.
I have never called an overtime jam. I'm knocking on the table, though. 'Cause
Yes.
I don't know that I want to. But I haven't.
I have not called one either.
I don't think I've ever even seen one.
I
in
have
the wild.
seen one, but I have not called it.
Exciting.
But I was very impressed by the announcers at that point because
Gotta remember the rules.
I know. They're really discussing things over here in the corner between captains and coaches and officials. Don't forget you can use the hashtag. Where is the hashtag? It is hashtag Big O 2018. The O is capital, the B is capital. No spaces or anything, no underscores, just Big O 2018.
It's a good place to discuss everything you see going on here, everything you'd like to see going on here, and show us your snacks. Because I do like to see other people's snacks.
We will be jealous.
It's true. I just like to see how people watch roller derby at home with their snacks and their pets.
Whether they're on laptop or they've got it on a big screen.
Or both, because there's
Or
multiple.
both. That's right.
There's multiple tournaments going on. You can both watch one on a laptop and one on a TV. I've never done that before, ever. I've done that before.
All right, everyone has dispersed here to their respective benches and or track infield.
The officials look ready. The teams look. There we go.
Yeah, love to hear that rolling whistle.
That indicates that we're about to begin a game. You are watching track 3 of the Big O. Just a reminder that this is the Mob City Misfits versus the Cherry Bomb Brawlers.
Mob City out there in the black jerseys, Cherry Bomb out there in the orange.
Looks like we're lined up and ready to go. We got the 5-second call from the jam timer.
And that's Tribal Terror with a star for the Brawlers. And that's Toe Jammer with the star for the Misfits.
Lead goes very quickly to Tribal Terror. Toe Jammer about a half a track behind now.
Pack speeding up, but Tribal Terror able to take the outside lane, picks up one.
Yeah, you know, I think Tribal Terror sped up, ducked down, and went to the outside and hoping to pick up more than one of those points. But the Mob City blockers were able to get out of the way, everybody but one of them.
Yeah.
We've got a timeout happening now.
Looks like this might have to do with the clock.
Oh, yep, the clock didn't actually start.
Yes, so we'll need to reset it. Definitely want the clock to be moving. And they'll also need to put the points up there for Tribal Terror on the scoreboard, but you know, was able to pick up 2 on that pass.
Looks like they've adjusted the time to 29:29. Score not yet updated. There it is. Yeah, just the one.
Just the one, right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I said 2, and I was wrong, and that's okay.
That's all right. That's their job anyway.
I know, I can admit when I'm wrong.
We just have to read. We don't have to math.
Jammers vying for position on that line. And we have another moment here with official time out. Official review. Looks like that was called by Mob City.
A little unusual to see an official review in the first jam of the game.
Right. We're not even, we're 31 seconds into the game. An official review. They must feel pretty confident about their call there.
And they get it back if they are deemed correct, if their review, if their whatever they've asked to be reviewed is upheld for them, and we get another one this half. Otherwise, they won't get it back until the second half.
Yes. So we'll wait and see if we can get some information about this.
Looks like they retained the review. I'm not quite sure
They
what it
did.
was. No one made any sort of announcement about what happened. Just that they retained the review. Nobody.
But we do have a jammer in the box. So that's Tribal Terror sitting in the box here for the Brawlers. So this will be a power start for the Misfits.
So maybe that was
Yeah.
had something to do with that.
Yeah, as maybe as Tribal Terror was coming around the apex here. So I got to say, good job by the coaches there. They were very confident about their official review. And meanwhile, Mousetrap with the star picks up a track cut well into the penalty box. So that was a very short-lived power start.
Tribal Terror is eligible for the lead, whereas Mousetrap now is not. I'm not quite sure. It looked like they might have awarded lead before the cut, but I'm not sure. Nope, they didn't.
They did not.
Here's lead.
So Tribal Terror out. Mousetrap serving that penalty is out now. That one last swing there by Global Storming doesn't quite stop him.
Gonna be 5 points on the board for Tribal Terror and the Cherry Bombers. Gonna bring the total of 6 for them.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another official timeout now.
So the clock did not move again. So the clock is still reading 31 seconds into the first half. So we're just trying to get that clock issue fixed.
Oh yeah, it counted it actually never went into the jam either. It looks like it was counting the OTO the entire time.
But the Cherry Bombs do have 7 points. Mob City Misfits have yet to put any on the board. And we can tell you what time is left on the clock as soon as we know. There is some time left.
So far, I had a slow start to this game.
Yeah. I know it's frustrating for the skaters who are hyped up and ready to jam.
And head ref Empire Strikes Back doing the rounds, apologizing for the scoreboard malfunctions.
Hey, I'm going to tell you about some 2018 WFTDA Continental Cups.
Please tell me about these.
They will produce the best in the region through a competitive bracket. This first year, the Continental Cup Series will be hosted in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Omaha, Nebraska, and Birmingham, United Kingdom. Find out more at WFTDA.com.
I'm very excited about those. 2 of those are within driving distance of where I live.
Oh, wow, that is exciting.
One guess, which one is not in driving distance of where I live?
I'm going to guess Birmingham?
Yeah, it's definitely
Okay, all
right.
right.
You can't drive over an ocean, unfortunately. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm just going to take a wild guess.
Unless you're... What's the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Is that the flying car?
I think so. Or is it no, yeah, that's fine car.
So that's Mad Max with a star for the Brawlers and Hater with a star for the Misfits. Sorry, again, I occasionally make sound effects into the microphone. Apologize, audience. Mad Max out as lead jammer for the Brawlers. That's Global Storming picking up a penalty. Head to the penalty box.
That was a cut penalty.
Thanks.
No score on this jam.
Yeah, Max calling it off there, but not picking up any points. There we go.
It's going to be Bruno Scars jamming up against Tribal Terror.
Bruno Scars is going to get through the pack on knees.
Crawling, that's
And
cool.
you know what? It works. So
Lead jammer goes to Bruno Scars. Tribal Terror coming up behind them.
Tribal Terror working hard to keep the pressure on. Throwing a little defense.
I mean, the second jam in a row without a score.
So far, we're taking a look at some different jammers here from our teams. Tribal Terror on a regular rotation jammer for the Brawlers.
So we're going to the Cherry Bomb Brawlers called this team timeout. Send pictures of your pets enjoying the Big O from home. Big O cats, hashtag Big O cats, and hashtag Big O dogs. We love to see our furry fans. Show me some pets.
Yes.
Along with your snacks. You know, other such fun things.
So it looks like the Brawlers are fielding Jaws of Death for the jammer. And Toe Jammer's back on the line for the Misfits.
Both packs seem to be lined up at the pivot line.
Both jammers able to get a little running start there. But Toe Jammer gets driven to the outside and recycled back almost to the jammer line.
Big push back. Again for the Cherry Bomb. He's able to keep Toe Jammer from getting forward. Toe Jammer able to get back in without too large of a recycle and picks up lead jammer. Is a little bit tangled up at the front of the pack and is out now and scoring eligible.
It's Global Storming, who is just all over the track there. But Toe Jammer able to make it through and puts 5 points on the board.
We had a star pass, so Global Storming is the jammer for the Cherry Bombers. So Jam's going to pick up 5 and call that off. Again, now have a 1-point game. 6 for the Cherry Bombers, 5 for the Misfits.
Just at 25 and a half minutes, we can now tell you the time in the first half of this game between the Mob City Misfits and the Cherry Bomb Brawlers. So the Brawlers able to get their pivot on the track just in time. And that's Tribal Terror with the star out as lead jammer, but wow. That is Mousetrap just keeping the pressure on. Both jammers come into the pack. It looks like Mousetrap able to put 4 on the board to Tribal Terror 0.
Getting low and around on the outside.
Yes.
Gets you those 4 points.
That was very low, very low. Snuck right in there. So that's Mad Max with the star for the Brawlers and Mikilia with the star for the Misfits. Mikilia getting recycled, or getting pushed to the infield, recycled back in between the jammer and pivot lines. Mad Max looking for a way through the pack. Jammers right out of the pack right at the beginning, but Mad Max gets declared lead. Mikilia right there. They're both throwing hips. And Mad Max says, you know, I'm gonna call this.
Yeah. No points on that one.
Wise move there.
23-44 left in the half. 9 for the Mob City Misfits, 6 for the Cherry Bomb Brawlers.
So we have number 244 and number 24 on the jammer line. Both jammers we've seen so far this half. Hater and Tribal Terror. Tribal Terror able to find an inside lane out as lead jammer, but I'm telling you, Hater is keeping the pressure on.
And that jam pretty quickly as well.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like to me both teams are doing a good job of, if not picking up the lead jammer, really keeping the heat on, forcing a quick call off. if you're not going to get lead jammer, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 0-0 is the same as a 4-4 when it comes to the end of the game. So
Now we have Mad Max jamming for the Brawlers up against Bruno Scars for Mob City.
Max does a little stomperoo before he jams. I like it.
Bruno Scars fighting right through the pack. Looks like checking for a little bit of blood, but is lead.
The two blockers headed to the pack. To the box, sorry. Bruno Scars, he takes a big hit there. Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a low block called on the Mad Hatter.
Yeah,
It was a low block.
It was, in fact. It's when you fall, you do have the opportunity to pick up a low block.
Yeah. Bruno Scars going to call that off. 5 points for the Misfits. Now 14 for them. 6 for the Brawlers. Timeout was called by the Cherry Bomb Brawlers. It's their second that they've called so far, so they're only going to have 1 clock stoppage left after this. Looked like they called that because they thought they weren't going to have a jammer on the track in time.
I don't think they...
Quick thinking by the bench staff. The jammer did eventually get on the track. They would have made it, but at the time that the staff called that timeout, it wasn't certain.
But, better safe. Now, we do have 2 people in the box, so 2 blockers in the box, 1 apiece.
Yeah, there's 3.
There's 3. That is why I was... So track advantage will go to the Misfits.
Toe jammer. It's going to be jamming against Global Storming.
Oh.
Last second, Global Storming decides
Check
check the toe stop.
Yeah. But, it works.
Still gets lead.
It was almost like a distraction there. No, but he's still checking it.
No.
It's going to make sure it's all on there. Toe jammer also out of the pack on an initial pass.
Three points. Cherry Bombers on that. 9 now for them. 14 still for Mob City. Cool Storming was able to just step over the one of the Mob City blockers had decided that they were going to cover the outside line by just kind of putting their foot towards it, but somebody like Global Storming can just kind of step over that. Just hop. Just hop to lead.
Global Storming's so agile, you got to get your full body in front. And that's a Mousetrap.
Who's lead now for the Misfits?
Mad Max with a star for the Brawlers. Looking for an initial pass. Sorry for whistling into the mic.
5 points now for Mousetrap. Mad Max finishing the initial pass, now scoring eligible.
So I want to say that this fight actually did get the signal from the penalty box crew to exit right at the very end, 4th whistle there. So the Misfits
And so is that box empty now?
got to, it's a little hard from my angle to see the whole bench, but from my perspective, I believe it's empty.
Yeah, everybody's on the track.
This is good.
Score now is 23 for the Misfits, 9 for the Bombers.
That's Tribal Terror back out there with a star for the Brawlers. And picking up lead. Yeah, but notices that Bruno Scar is right there on his heels.
Decides to call that one off pretty quick. Not to risk the foot race.
We are about halfway through the first half of this game. 23-24 City. Cherry Bomb City.
Mad Max jamming up against ToeJam.
Yeah. ToeJammer at the front of the pack. One blocker to beat and out as lead jammer.
ToeJammer making quick work of this track. Back in the pack already.
Wow, fast moving there. Just able to pick up the seams. Find a way through the center.
An expressway all on her side, as it were. 5 points on the board for Bomb City.
She does get driven out of bounds there.
Big recycle here.
Yeah. That's Taika the Psycho, right, yeah. Recycling back the pivot, but she manages to come out again, picks up another 5.
Now it's Afro-Jam's turn to throw.
Not even slowing down that time. Gonna pick up the third set of 5 and call that one off. 15 for the Misfits, 38 for them, 9 still for the Bombers.
The biggest jam we've had so far this evening for this game.
So Hader back on the line, somewhere we've seen a couple of times. But Skatey Katie with the star for the Brawlers.
Some great blocking by Raven Fritch.
Oh. Good hook check there by Porter. Comes out of bounds.
It was a star pass.
And that is Global Storming. Not eligible for lead, so Hader notices that was a star pass. Can't pick up lead. Hader picks up lead and calls it off before Global Storming can get back around to the pack.
So yeah, it's going to be a 0-0 jam.
Just under 16 and a half minutes left in the first half of this game between the Mob City Misfits and the Cherry Bomb Brawlers.
That's Eminem jamming for the Brawlers. Up against Mousetrap for the Misfits. Mousetrap is lead for the Misfits.
Global Storming picking a penalty. Will head to the box. That just puts the Brawlers down a pivot. Mousetrap picking up 5. Coming back around. Eminem getting pushed out of bounds. Not having a lot of luck against this defensive. Well, the wall of 2. But now the Misfits will send their pivot to the box for a penalty. Mousetrap picking up another 5. Eminem out of the pack on an initial pass.
Pack breaking up quite a bit. Making it a little bit easier for Mousetrap. It takes a leap to pick up some of those last points.
So you're waiting for the jam ref 4.
4 total. It's 19 on the jam, 57 now for the Misfits, 9 for the Bombers.
Really strong jam there for Mousetrap. Just able to quickly make it through the pack several times, finding an open lane. Putting Skatey Katie back out there for the Brawlers and ToeJammer for the Misfits.
ToeJammer picks up lead for the Misfits.
Meanwhile, fist fight out of the penalty box. And the Brawlers will send Komakaze. Toe Jammer picking up 5. Heading into the pack, comes out again for another 5.
Skater Katie trying to hand off the helmet cover, isn't able. Now kind of gets recycled. That jam's going to end. 10 for Toe Jammer.
So it looks like Skaty Katie picking up a low block right there. Nope, maybe not. I misspoke, but it wasn't Skaty Katie that picked up a low block, but we have 2 blockers in the penalty box.
In some areas get a bad rap, but in the Pacific Northwest, I say most junior skaters can take on most adult teams. It would be a fair fight.
Jaws of Death jamming up against Hater.
Hater gets pushed out right before turn number 1, being recycled back past the jammer line. Hater getting recycled back by Global Storming. Sorry, I misspoke there. Global Storming, quite a presence on the track, just back and forth, very agile. Looks like that's up there, Eminem helping to brace a little bit for Global Storming.
Looks like Tycho the Psycho also was able to get up there.
Oh,
Great hit by Eminem.
right at the very, Hater thought I was out, but no, not quite. So star pass to Global Storming.
Not eligible for lead, but is now out.
And Hater threw the pack without the star on the head, so that means also not lead.
It's going to be 4 points scored for Global Storming. 4 points scored for Hater.
This is just going to be who can pick up the most. Oh, nice little spin move there by Global Storming, picking up 4.
Another 4.
There's another 4 for Hater.
Global Storming back and the pack getting recycled. Slow him down. 8-8. So that 2-minute jam is a wash. 75 from Mob City Misfits, 17 for the Brawlers.
There's under 11 minutes left in the first half of this game between Mob City and Cherry Bomb. Mob City out there in the black jerseys, Cherry Bomb in the orange.
Bruno Scar straight through the middle, lead for the Misfits. Up against Izzy Dead for the Brawlers.
This is the first time we've seen Izzy Dead with a star right off the line in this game. Bruno Scars putting 5 points on the board for the Misfits.
Oh, Bruno Scars tussling a bit with critical hit up at the front.
Yeah.
That last line of defense, but is able to get free and gets another 5 points.
Critical hit went for that hit. Just didn't land it all the way.
Mad Hatter really giving Bruno Scars a run for their money.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Izzy Dead just looking for a way through this wall that is able to just keep getting in front of her no matter which direction she goes.
That's the end of that jam. 19 points for the Misfits on that 94 is their full score. I mean, 17 points for the Brawlers. 9 minutes and 16 seconds left. in the half.
So sending Girlzilla over to the EMTs. So we'll see if she's they can take care of her and get her back in the game.
As Mad Max jamming against Toe Jammer.
Toe Jammer pulls out lead. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I misspoke. Picks up a track cut. Heads to the penalty box. That puts Mad Max in the lead.
Yeah, so Toe Jammer was awarded lead, but then someone let her jam ref know, no, she's not. So they rescinded it and sent her to the box for the cut. And now Mad Max is the lead.
Mad Max able to pick up two. I'm sorry. That looks like a one finger to me, but there we go.
It's going to be 18 now for the Brawlers, 94 for the Misfits.
So the Brawlers will have a power start here. Toe Jammer unable to get out of the box during that last jam. And this is Eminem with the star, trying to get through that pack before the power jam ends, and just barely picks up lead before Toe Jammer out of the box.
And out of the pack, they're both scoring eligible.
Oh my goodness. Sorry for the sound effects. That was Porter. A big hip check there.
It's going to be 3 for the Bombers, 1 for the Misfits on that jam.
Again, the penalty box was clear. Everything to that. So we should have even number of players on the track. Oh my goodness. Mousetrap just quickly through the center, finds the lane, out his lead jammer. Mad Max also out of the pack on that initial pass. Mousetrap so quick and able to get low through the pack again. Picks up 4, but here comes Mad Max, putting 4 on the board as well. Oh.
That's a cut called on Mousetrap.
I was kind of distracted by that battle between two blockers. I think it was Showtime. And maybe Vicious, Vanna, just a little. Oh, Mad Max also picking up a cut track.
So Mad Max will be in the box longer than 20 seconds, but less than 30.
Yes. Mousetrap again with a quickness, able to spin around, pick up 4 is what our jam rep is saying. Mousetrap through the inside lane, but picking up another jammer penalty. We will try to get some updates here. We're 4.5 minutes to the half, but on the half we will try to get some updates on the penalties.
We got 14 for the Brawlers in that last jam. 8 for the Misfits. Scores 35 to 103.
So we do have an official timeout being called.
Looks like there's some NSOs being called over to the score table. We're gonna check the score, make sure everything's
Yeah.
good.
It's a lot easier to check things out as we go and make sure everything's correct than it is to try to figure it out later. So.
I'm sensing a theme. Yep, all three.
So, as we said right at the very end of that last jam, the Misfits lost their jammer, that was Mousetrap, into the penalty box. And so the Brawlers looks like they're choosing to field Global Storming for their jammer for this power start.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but I saw Tribal Terror leave the area.
Room, yeah.
And not, it didn't seem it was a medical issue, so I'm not 100% sure what happened, but
Yeah.
it did limit the Brawlers' jammer rotation a little bit.
Yes. He was a frequent star wearer out there, but also did really good on the track as a blocker.
Looks like we're looking at an official review here called by the Misfits. Remember, they had already won one in this half, so even if they win again, they don't get it back again. But there's 4 minutes and 12 seconds left in this half until they'll get one again in the second half.
Get another one, right. Global Storming and Fist Fight. Just having a little conversation.
That's pretty cool. You get to meet people from other cities when you play at these
That's right.
tournaments.
Yeah, there are many people to meet here. This is a huge arena.
Especially kind of in the junior level, there isn't a whole lot of, there isn't so many leagues. I mean, there are more here out on the West Coast than there are other places in the country, but there aren't so many leagues that you're always playing new people and always meeting new people. So
Right.
these weekends they're a big deal.
Yeah. The level of play here,
Yeah.
if you're on an adult league, you need to be out here looking around at some of these names. See if you can recruit them onto your league. Maybe talk them into going into the college in your city.
Yeah, the juniors program out here on the West Coast and some other places in the country too, at least, I've noticed is just very, very well organized.
Mm-hmm.
People are well trained.
Yes.
It's exciting.
Mm-hmm. I really love watching the juniors. I think they're just their level of skating and their understanding of the game and the movement on the track. They're just aware of it all.
Well, they'll take some risks that adults won't take because I once read somewhere that the optimal age for a gymnast is 16, not because they're physically more capable at 16 than 20, but because they're not yet afraid of death.
Right.
So they'll turn themselves upside down midair because they haven't thought through what happens if it doesn't work. Similarly in roller derby, you see some amazing moves with the juniors because they don't yet realize just how annoying breaking your leg is.
That's a really great point, October.
That innocence of youth. Also, you heal much better.
Yes, and quicker.
Global Storming has got a lead up against a Mousetrap.
Global Storming. Let's see what Global Storming can do here in the last under 4 minutes. Just a spin move. I swear, I think he takes dancing.
He also does a really good job of using his teammates to absorb the impact.
Yeah.
So he'll come as fast as possible into the pack, but then kind of skate into his teammates, which is totally legal. Instead of drawing a back block or something like that. It's going to be 5 points for Global Storming, although Mousetrap did fall him out of the pack.
Oh. Nice little move there. Global Storming pops Mousetrap out. And now is doing the whole, I'm going to run around the whole track here.
Mousetrap realizes, though, that if Global Storming is holding him from scoring, then he can't be scoring.
Right, and he doesn't have to chase him, which is some jammers make the mistake of running after the other jammer. Global Storming's just going to play a little bit. Oh!
Jammer is having none of that.
Jammer was like, come on, bring it.
I'm going to eat the baby if you're going to play this game.
I know.
Fine, I guess we'll play roller derby then.
Oh, I saw that apex jump coming.
Yeah.
He telegraphed that. I saw it coming.
He landed both those skates and bounce those. So you're going to get the 4 points on that one. 14-point jam for the Brawlers. Going to bring them to 49, 104 for the Misfits. We got just over 2 minutes left in this half.
The Big O is brought to you in part by the acclaimed Rydell Solaris.
So Bruno Scars was on the track ready to jam, and Mad Max is like, hey, your jammer's in the box. And she's getting up very angrily. So I missed it too. I don't know why Mousetrap's in the box, but Mousetrap's in the box.
Right at the very end there, I guess.
We're having an official timeout now where the officials are having an official conversation. Officially.
Mousetrap spending some quality time in the penalty box this half. Mad Max's signature stomp.
Seems like now the Mob City blockers were echoing it.
Toe Jammer knocking Max out right at turn 1. Recycled all the way back. Almost to turn 4.
Porter headed the penalty box. For the Misfits, Mad Max is lead now.
Mousetrap standing, but not yet released. There he goes. Oh! Apex jump there by Mad Max. Doesn't look like he landed it, so recycling himself just to be sure.
Initial pass completed by Mousetrap.
Oh. Toe Jammer is, we've seen Toe Jammer with a star a few times. Really good jammer, but demonstrating some blocking skill as well. Giving those jammers some trouble.
Yeah, those pivots, they have one of the hardest jobs in roller derby, right? Jammers can just train to be jammers. Sometimes they'll block, but not always, but they can train really hard to be jammers. Blockers can train to be blockers. It's really hard, but a pivot has got to train to be both a blocker and a jammer. That's a lot of work, and it's hard. Not everyone can do it. Toe Jammer is very good at it.
Yes. That's Bruno Scars out as lead jammer against Global Storming. Global Storming also out of the pack. We've seen both of these jammers do some good work out there.
It's going to be
2, I think, right?
I see 2, but it's not on the board yet. There it is.
Fingers, yeah.
Yep, so we got 110 for the Mob City Misfits, 52 for the Cherry Bomb Brawlers.
There's Tribal Terror. So not sure, maybe equipment issue or something causing him to leave the track for a few minutes, but.
So this is the official review. The Brawlers official review, they're going to use it as a timeout, which is a smart move here because we got 12 seconds left in the half.
Yeah.
They haven't need to review anything yet. They get another one in the second half. They already used up 2 of their timeouts. So they might as well
just go ahead and use it
to get that extra jam. And there's Tribal Terror back. So yeah, maybe equipment. That's one of the great things about a tournament like this. If your equipment malfunctions, and you can just go over to one of the vendor tables
so
and be
many
like,
vendors.
"Can you fix the thing?
Vendor City over there.
Please fix the thing.
Yes, I need one of these weird pieces of equipment. Yes, we have that.
Do you have the tool? Can I buy the tool to make the wheels go?" And they're like, "Of course you can."
Yes. Speaking of Toe Jammer, he's just bragging on her ability to be both a blocker and a jammer. And there she is with a star.
Oh, and gets out in his lead, but gets pulled back into the pack.
Yeah.
So is now behind Tribal Terror. Decides to call that off to end the half. So we're going to win into intermission. Score of 110 for the Mob City Misfits and 52 for the Cherry Bomb Brawlers.
I'm Rippy Longstocking.
I'm October Revolution. We'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. So
Come on back.
And we're back. Hello, welcome back. This is the second half of the game between the Mob City Misfits and the Cherry Bomb Brawlers. The score coming back from halftime is 110 for the Misfits and 52 for the Brawlers. As far as penalties, there's really only two players in trouble. It's going to be Global Storming for the Brawlers, who is at 5, and Mousetrap for the Misfits, who's at 4. This game was pretty close most of the way through, and it kind of opened up a little around the 15-minute mark and was getting a little tighter as we went to the half, so it'll be interesting to see how these teams adjusted in the locker room and what we have ahead of us.
So both Global Storming and Mousetrap, the ones that have 5 and 4 penalties, are very strong players on the track, have put some points on the board. Global Storming will start the half in the penalty box.
Tribal Terror was missing for a good portion of the first half of the game. Unsure why, but is back now, so that will be a help for the Brawlers, because Terror is a strong jammer for them, especially when you have Global Storming, who wasn't jamming that much when Tribal Terror was in the rotation at such a high penalty count.
Yes. We see Toe Jammer wearing the star for the Misfits, also doing a great job out there during the first half, both as a jammer and a blocker, able to switch from the inside to the outside, picks up lead.
Yeah, Toe Jammer is just kind of dialed in this game.
Yes. And on the inside there, picking up some points, calling it off.
Remember, both these teams have already played today.
Yes.
So if this looks tiring, imagine having done it already at 10 a.m. Because they both did.
They both did at 10 a.m. I'm tired for them.
Don't worry, though. When you're that age, you don't need to sit in a giant bathtub of ice for 2 days in order to be human again. Although you also don't have the benefit of wine, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there are good things and bad things. So that's Mad Max getting pushed in the outfield, recycled back past the jammer line, and that's Hater at the front of the pack. Little spin, picks up lead jammer.
We haven't seen Hater in a bit. Hater did jam a lot more this morning, so maybe they'll put Hater back into the rotation in the second half to rest their heavily used jammers from the first half.
Yeah. Global Storming giving Hater some grief there. The little hop over the apex. Oh, Hater. Wow, that was amazing. One little pop there by Global Storming, but Hater kept one foot up and one in bounds. Amazing little move.
This is a power jam for Hater. Been on the track alone about 30 seconds now, because there's Mad Max back on the track.
Back on the track. I was so dazzled by his dancing moves.
Mad Max completed the initial pass, is now scoring eligible, so Hater's going to call this one off. Picks up another 3, going to be 8 total, bringing the score to 121 for the Misfits and 52 for the Bombers.
As you said, Tribal Terror making another appearance one of their most frequently fielded jammers.
It's going to be up against Mousetrap.
Mousetrap wearing the star a couple times so far in this game. Out.
Mousetrap was able to get a running start on the pack. Got him through pretty easy. Tribal Terror, not even a quarter of a track behind. Some big hits, some tumbles.
Yeah. Some folks slow to get up here, but people, jammers coming in at the pack so quickly.
It's one of those hits where you see it and you feel like it shouldn't be legal, but it definitely is legal. It was
Definitely.
a legal hitting zone, a legal impact zone.
Let's do have the EMT's just over here, just making sure, checking out everybody.
Everybody's okay. It's hard to hit the floor that hard.
Yeah, woohoo.
Absorbing all that impact. I mean, physics is not a kind thing.
No. So that's Jaws of Death, I think, with a star for the Brawlers.
It's
And
Toe
it's
Jammer.
Toe Jammer back out there again with the star. 2 blockers headed to the penalty box for the Misfits.
Toe Jammer able to put up another 4 for calling that one off.
So the Brawlers starting with a distinct track advantage here. Tribal Terror back out there with a star for the Brawlers.
Gonna be Bruno Scars for the Misfits.
I think that's yeah, definitely Benoye and Makilia are the defenders out there. Oh my goodness, nice little jump there by Tribal Terror, puts 5 up on the board. Bruno Scars also through the pack, but Tribal Terror senses her coming on strong and calls it off. 9 points for Tribal Terror.
64 now for the Brawlers, 126 for the Misfits. 24 minutes about left in this game.
That jam was so fast that the penalty box has not been cleared, so sorry, that was Porter copying Mad Max's little stomp there. Oh my goodness, so close, both of them. But it looks like Mouse. Oh, I'm sorry, I spoke too soon. That was Mad Max picking up a track cut. Mousetrap out as lead.
Big pack advantage for the Misfits too. Only 2 blockers on the track for the Bombers. About to be 3. Mad Hatter getting an out of position block.
Going, you know, once you go for that jammer and you just get your eyes on the jammer, just went a little too far. But that's Global Storming. Knocking Mousetrap out of bounds, recycled back, but nice job there. The Misfits getting in front of Global Storming and keeping him from knocking Mousetrap into the infield.
Mad Max almost gets free.
Mad Max is looks like we are gonna need some EMTs.
Yeah, we had a call for injury. Everyone's gonna take a knee. Not quite sure if this gem was called off naturally or if it was called for the injury.
He tapped his helmet there, so I'm not sure if it was, you know, a sort of a pain motion or if that was an actual tap. But the EMTs will spend a little time, and that means he'll I do believe it was called off because of that, and so he will be out of rotation for 3 jams.
Yeah, in some places in the country, in some leagues, tapping your helmet is indicating to the ref, please call it off for my injury, as opposed to, hold on, I just got the wind knocked out of me, I'm going to get up in a second.
Right.
We got B. Moy jamming up against Tribal Terror. It's the first time we've seen B. Moy with a star.
Tribal Terror just making quick work of this track. Finds an outside lane through for 5 points. Boy, taking a few hits there. Brawlers able to stay in front.
Global Storming does not leave Moy alone.
Swing there actually misses. So Moy's out of the pack on an initial pass.
In the meantime, Tribal Terror already has 10 on the board. Gonna pick up a few more for calling it off, holding the Misfits to 0. 3 more. It's gonna be 77 for the Brawlers, 140 for the Misfits.
Hit This Derby gear has everything you need to get rolling, from skates to protective gear and unmatched service for all of your derby needs. Before you hit the track, hit this.
Jamming in with Jaws of Death for the Brawlers, Bruno Scars for the Misfits.
Scars unable to pick up lead from that.
It's a no pass, no penalty. So scoring eligible, but can't call off that jam.
Yeah, and so she's going to take that opportunity just to keep putting points on the board, while Jaws of Death is working to get through the pack.
We're up to 10 now for Bruno Scars.
Jaws of Death really struggling against that defense. They seem to always pick back in front of her.
Yeah, the Misfits are going to give quite a fight here because they can only score for as long as that initial
Right.
pass is active. Really. And if you beat up enough on Jaws of Death, you might decide to pass the star, which would then give you a full 2 minutes of scoring.
Yes. So Jaws of Death, a little slow to come back in, but does manage to pass the star to Global Storming.
So we will have a 2-minute jam, although there's only 30 seconds left on the jam.
So Global Storming trying to get back around, put some points on the board. But I tell you, Jaws of Death looking like she did get a couple of big hits there. Nice spin move on the inside and nice little backwards move on the outside.
Gonna stop the bleeding a little bit for the Bombers. It's 4 on the jam now. Bleeding the differential just a little bit.
Nice scars.
This is definitely the highest scoring jam of the game with 23
Absolutely.
points for the Misfits.
Global Storming able to pick up an extra 3 there at the very end.
It's 7 total for the Brawlers, scoring on 163 for the Misfits, 84 for the Brawlers. Huge jam for Bruno Scars.
Yeah. Bruno Scar is able to just make quick work of the pack, get through really quickly, just keep putting up points. And that's Tribal Terror.
Lead for Tribal Terror.
Toe Jammer also out of the pack on an initial pass for the Misfits.
Score 4 points, call it off. 84 now. Oh, excuse me, 88 for the Brawlers.
Right at about 18 and a half minutes left in the second half of this game between the Mob City Misfits in black And the Cherry Bomb Brawlers in orange. That is Tycho the Psycho with the star for the Brawlers. First time we've seen that, right? And
I think so. Yeah.
Hater with the star. Oh, Tycho almost made it through.
Hater able to find a line on the inside, pick up lead for the Misfits.
Hater through for 5. Tycho still looking to get through an initial pass. As we said, Mad Max sitting for that 3 jam requirement. Oh! Tycho picking up a cut track, heads to the penalty box. Power jam for Hater.
Hater so far has got 10 points up on the board.
Oh! So as we said, Tycho. Oh. So Porter picks up a penalty, but one of the blockers removed herself entirely. So the Brawlers are down a blocker. I think just by the way she was skating, it looked like maybe she got that air knocked out of her.
This looks like an official review. Umpire strikes back is calling over the captains. Not official review, official timeout. Umpire strikes back is calling over the captains. It's like he just wants to have a chat with them. We have a little less than half of this half left. 182 for the Misfits, 88 for the Brawlers. That was a 19-point jam for the Misfits.
Misfits, when they get control of the track, either as lead jammer or just when the Brawlers are stuck in the pack, they have really been able to get a few actually, really high-scoring jams, stretching out their lead. It's hard to see sometimes in the pack all of the work being done by the blockers, but the Misfits have done a great job of just keeping in front of the Brawlers, giving them a lot of trouble trying to get through for points.
Yeah, you look at like Fist Fight, for example, was on the track about every other jam and constantly stopping jammers, keeping packs together, just being a force out there. And there's a number of blockers like that on both teams that you don't get to say their names as much.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they aren't doing the work.
Yes.
The Big O is brought to you in part by the acclaimed Rydell Solaris. The performance you demand, the comfort you've been missing. Check out Rydell Solaris.
Just want to, while we're sitting around looking at all these people doing this work, I just want to say how thankful I am that we have all of these officials out here ready to go for all of these games. We started out early this morning. We'll go later into the evening. It is an all-volunteer army, and we appreciate them.
Yeah, the sheer number of human beings it takes to put on an event like this is staggering.
And I'll do it with a smile.
Jimmy, that was Mad Max for the Brawlers back from that 3-jam set. And we've got Mousetrap for the Misfits. Mousetrap is lead.
Good to see Mad Max back out there. briefly trying to slide around the outside to pick up points, but wasn't able to do so. But 1 on the board for the Misfits. Just over 15 and a half minutes left in the second half. This game between Mob City and Cherry Bomb. Toe Jammer with the star for the Misfits. Picks up lead jammer. And that's Tycho the Psycho with the star for the Brawlers. Still looking for an initial pass. I look like Vicious Fana. Yeah.
Cut calls on the outside. Yeah, Toe Jammer wasn't sure if they made the cut. Decided they hadn't, got back in bounds, but that outside pack ref was like, nope, 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 you did.
You did.
You did that.
So Toe Jammer will hang out in the box here. Let's see what Tycho the Psycho can do with this star. Almost through, but interesting. Makilia standing there as Tycho stood up in position, ready to go, ready to block. Good job by the Misfits killing the time on that penalty for their jammer. Tycho looking for a star pass. Got to be careful to not draw a high block there. And the pivot's fighting at the front. Trying to keep the Brawlers pivot from getting close to the jammer.
Great work there by Fistfight, the pivot of the Misfits, distracting the Brawlers pivot long enough for Toe Jam to get free.
Tycho out of the pack, still holding the star. So maybe, I think maybe got popped in the face a little bit around the second straightaway, or I'm sorry, the first straightaway.
This is going to be 92 for the Brawlers now. With a 15-point jam for Toe Jammer, going to be 198 for the Misfits.
So Mad Max out there again with the star, and that is Bruno Scars. Ooh, big hit there by Global Storming. Scars will head to the infield and be recycled back past the jammer line. Mad Max working at the front of the pack, right around turn 2, comes out as a lead jammer.
Yeah, that hit by Global Storming really is why they have a lead this jam.
Yes. I'm telling you, Global Storming, despite being in a little bit of penalty concern, is all over the track, can run it as a pivot, as a jammer, or as a blocker.
Yeah, but I think that the team and maybe Storming themselves feels that, you know, there are less penalties when he's in the pack.
Yes.
Than when he's got the star on.
Yes, indeed, noted. It's just like we were just checking on the clock again.
Yeah, that's one of the real dangers of training, trying to train to do all the positions in roller derby, right?
Yes.
Is that you can never like really focus in on your weakness in any one position. If your weakness is track cuts, if your weakness is something like that as a jammer, usually it is track cuts as a jammer.
Mm-hmm.
You can't like spend a ton of time working on it because you also need to be working on how to block and how to stop and all those things.
So this is the Brawlers knocking the jammer onto the infield, so and trying to recycle the that's Hater with the star for the Misfits. That is Terrible Terror again. Now the danger with that strategy, of course, is that the jammer does not have to follow you. So Hader just stood in the center there and waited patiently, and now is out as lead jammer. Tribal Terror out of the pack, but not lead, so it did not work out quite the way he had hoped. But so he's going to play a little defense as Hader.
You're going to do it again, though?
Yeah, I don't.
Just burning time here.
Yeah,
which
and
is
they're
helping the Misfits because they're
behind.
over 100 points up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the strategy is unless he just needs a break.
Yeah. Well, and you can see one of the Misfits coaches just looked at the clock and then told the bench, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're fine. We're fine. This is on our side here."
Yeah, I mean, so Hader's just like gonna slowly wait for the jam to run out.
There it is. So that was a monumental waste of time by the
I'm
Bombers.
Not really sure what that strategy was. It doesn't really work out for you if you don't get the jammer swallowed up or something by.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they
defense,
held Hader to only 4 points, and usually when Mob City has lead and is scoring, they can score a lot more than 4 points. So I guess they stemmed the damage there, but they didn't score any points in return because it was their jammer that was.
They didn't.
So I'm not sure.
They just let that clock go. Not a great use of time, but Mad Max coming out, picking up lead, but look out because here comes Mousetrap right on its tail. And now playing a little defense here on Mad Max.
They're both going to hit the pack going really, really fast.
Ooh.
Mad Max, though, gets through first.
Yeah.
Leaving Mousetrap caught in the middle.
Yeah, Mousetrap just taking a little tumble there and now picking up a penalty. Is that a forearm? No, it's a cut track. Cut track.
Great gamble by Mad Max, paying off for him. It's another 4 points. That was a great apex jump.
So Mousetrap,
there we go.
it's either 5 or 6 penalties for Mousetrap. Mad Max getting recycled way back by Beamoy.
We're at exactly 100 point spread, 102 to 202.
So we're just under 9 minutes left in the second half. You are tuning in to the Big O.
We're watching the Mob City Misfits play the Cherry Bomb Brawlers. And that's Tribal Terror jamming for the Brawlers up against Mousetrap.
Oh no, that's Global Storming headed to the penalty box. I'm not sure if that's 6 or 7, but we'll find out quickly, won't we?
Looks like 7.
Yeah, they're pointing
Everybody
to
is clearly aware. Yeah, Storming was like, it's me. The penalty staff was like, yup, it's you.
On the way to the box, Storming was like, oh no.
It's me. It's me. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. It's me. The timeout being called by the Misfits now. They still have 2 other clock stoppages and their official review.
Mm-hmm.
The Brawlers have 1 clock stoppage and their official review. And are now down Global Storming, which is a big hit to their pack.
Really a big loss there. Global Storming heading to the green curtains. That would be a presence they will miss out on the track. Very strong pivot. Picked up the star and was able to put points on the board as a jammer.
Yeah, they've had a couple of player losses in this half too, because M&M is geared down after that discussion with the EMTs, and there's another skater I see sitting over with the EMTs, so they're down 3. I mean, everyone looks okay, but you know, it's always hard when you have less bodies you can put on the track.
Right. And both teams showed up with just a slightly shorter roster here. It looks like several players from both teams weren't able to make it to the tournament this weekend, which is pretty typical. So that's Mad Max looking for a way out of that pack, but the defense is just giving him a lot of trouble. Meanwhile, Toe Jammer's out as lead. Moy is just all over Mad Max out there. Mad Max picking up a cut track.
5 points on the board for Toe Jammer. Headed back into the pack. Not even touched. Another 5.
Eminem was looking for a hit there, but just swung a little too late. Tries to get her again, but Toe Jammer is a good jammer. Toe Jammer calling off now. Mad Max is standing in the box, but not yet released.
Score now is 104 for the Brawlers, 217 for the Misfits.
Bruno Scars with the star for the Misfits, looking for an inside lane.
Mad Max back on the track now for the Brawlers.
Ooh, lots of challenge there. But Bruno Scars out for 5. Mad Max recognizing I didn't probably quite land that, so I'm going to recycle myself back. Bruno Scars on the inside. So, want to also put a plug in for Vicious Vanna, one of those blockers that we haven't had an opportunity to say her name very much, only because she's all over the place, doing a great job out there blocking. Right when the jammer thinks they've made it through, there's Vicious Vanna.
Speaking of Vicious Vanna, big hit on the jammer there. Stomped him, recycled him, but
also headed to the penalty box.
5 minutes now. Bruno Scars able to pick up 20 points on that jam. 5
Big
minutes
jam.
left in the game. 237 to 104.
She looked a little frustrated coming off, but I'm telling you, that was a really high scoring jam. Nothing to be frustrated about. Oh,
Got a timeout.
yep. Looks like we have a Mad Max. Possibly, is that Mad Max? Yeah, Mad Max going back to visit our EMTs, and so there will be a substitution. Tribal Terror taking Mad Max's position in the penalty box. So still a power start for, looks like Hader with the star for the Misfits.
The Brawlers really having some injury trouble in the second half, which can be the case sometimes when you play a game in the morning and then a game in the afternoon. And the game that they played in the morning was like an 8-point game. It was tied almost all the way through.
Yes.
It wasn't an easy game.
It was an amazing game.
Yeah, but you get real beat up in games
Yes,
like
you
that.
do. You do.
So by the time you get to your second game of the day, it's, you know.
Hard to do.
So there's 3 Brawlers in the penalty box.
I know, I'm just looking out to freaking Wolf, and that looks like Mad Hatter, I think. They are the entirety of the Brawlers on the track.
Man, Hatter are one of those blockers that just really, really hard to get by her.
Yeah. Doesn't take up as much space as some of the other larger blockers, but she can hold her own out there.
Yeah.
So as I said, Hader out there with the star for the Misfits. Mad Hatter and Freaking Wolf.
Oh, we rarely see those. It's a false start. The pivot from Mill City having the toe stop on that pivot line, and all of the blockers weren't back behind their hips, so they had to yield, and it gave a advantage to Hater to get a lead.
Oh, and then Freaking Wolf also picking up a penalty, but luckily one of the Brawlers did leave the box. That's a Vicious Fana, and so there was space. She didn't have to report back a second time.
It was Afro Jamurai who made the smart false start decision.
Tribal Terror doing some nice work out there, but wasn't able to pick up any points. Oh.
That's 2 minutes in the box for Tribal Terror. There's only 3 minutes and 34 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
Well, it serves me 2 penalties. It's a full minute in the box.
Yes.
You can tell I've been playing this sport too long if I think that penalties are a minute long.
It just feels that way.
It was like 5 years. That was like 5 years ago. It's cool. It's cool. I just regressed 5 rule sets. I'll just start calling minors. It'll be fine. We're all going to be fine.
That's Mountstrap picking up a quick lead out of turn number 2. Ooh. Almost, I'm trying to do a little skip and jump over there on the far straightaway, but didn't quite land it. Being recycled back. Gonna try to do some damage here for the double power jam. Nice job faking everybody out. Able to get through on the inside. The Brawlers are trying to set up in a sort of tripod in one, but it looks like the Misfits are just kind of destroying their link. They're unable to set up and form a firm pack there.
It was 15 points for the Misfits. They were able to freeze Tribal Terror in the box. It's going to be 104 for the Brawlers to 262 for the Misfits. We have 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, that was a really good job by Mousetrap to pick up, 15 points, a double-digit jam, and leave the jammer in the box for the power start. And so this is Porter. Doing a little spin move on the inside. Oh, and picks up.
Forearm
Was that
penalty.
a forearm? Yeah. So now it's time for Tribal Terror to take lead jammer status. I think Porter was feeling pretty confident that he made it through the pack, but not quite. Tribal Terror.
Yeah, sometimes the danger of those those larger, more powerful jammers is that they, can push through with their arm. If their arm leaves their body at all,
Yes.
then they open themselves up for those forearm calls.
So Afro Jamurai is, as you mentioned earlier, one of those players that has just really given the jammers a lot of trouble out there on the track, doing so for Tribal Terror. Tribal Terror getting a little knockout there by Toe Jammer. quarter, also being recycled to the infield. Tycho the Psycho trying to get a hip on him. Tribal Terror gets past Afro.
There's more time in the jam than there is in the period, so we could see the game end in this jam depending on what Tribal Terror decides to do.
Oh. Tribal Terror was looking for that call. Got it.
Yeah,
So
it looks like a misconduct call. I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly what happened, but whatever happened, it looked a little contentious.
it was a little contentious. So the period clock expires, jam clock expires. So it was 14 points for the Brawlers, so one of the higher scoring jams for them.
It's going to bring the unofficial final score to 118 for the Brawlers, 266 for the Misfits. So the Misfits win this one handily, even if we see some score adjustments, which we're not
Yeah.
going to see a score adjustment like that.
Right. Not over 100 points. So Global Storming, we'll see at the track side there, ready to congratulate his teammates. Maybe. So still waiting to hear that rolling whistle to get the final, but I think we might be close to it, if not exact.
I think I heard the whistle, but I haven't seen the scoreboard change, so we're going to wait and
Right.
see. Looks like the head NSO is heading over there.
All of the skaters are also looking at the scoreboard
like-
with bated breath.
Are we ready?
All right, is this it?
There it is, final. So yeah, the
Final.
final score is 266 for the Misfits, 118 for the Brawlers. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm October
Thanks for-
Revolution.
And I'm Ripley Longstocking. It's been a pleasure.
Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Make sure you switch over. I think there's action going on both track 1 and track 2 right now, so go check it out.